Dolphins are friendly sea humans. Grand Theft Auto dolphins often operate in gangs. During mating season, they will team up to isolate, kidnap, and physically beat females to force them into mating. Males will sometimes kill the calves of females. By doing that, the mother stops nursing and enters her reproductive cycle again. They are smart enough to seek out pleasure. Dolphins intentionally bite pufferfish to release small amounts of tetrodotoxin. This doesn't kill them, but it leaves them in a high state. They even pass the pufferfish around to share the pipe. And then, because they love to bully, the gang uses their hard snout to strike the soft underbelly, or gill slits of a shark. It can cause fatal internal bleeding. Sharks usually hunt alone. Dolphins use their sonar to pinpoint the shark's location and punch it from multiple angles, leaving the shark panicked and unable to fight back. They attack other animals just as a form of training or fun. Orcas, which are the largest species of dolphin, have elevated this to an art form. They often flip sharks over, inducing a state of paralysis known as tonic immobility. Then they eat the shark's liver and leave the rest behind. And that whole idea that they save humans, it's usually just curiosity or an instinctual habit of pushing floating objects to the surface. In fact, there are plenty of times when dolphins have attacked people. Dolphins are arguably the most chaotic frat boys of the ocean. You will probably look at a shark and not feel scared anymore. Just kidding. Sharks might be the ones with the razor-sharp teeth, but they're basically smooth-brained loners. To be honest, we love them for their insane intelligence. They have a complex language and the capacity to empathize. We call them bad boys, but we just can't stop loving them. Blue whales can produce roughly 400 gallons of baby batter per session. That 400-gallon figure is completely fake news. The actual number is only about 20 to 40 liters per session. Since only 10% of it actually makes it to the female, around 27 liters get dumped straight back into the ocean. That's enough to fill a couple of large buckets. And yes, it may float around while you are on the beach. You might not heard about. A blue whale's blow is big enough to swallow a horse. But here's the truth. They don't even spray water. It is warm air being forcefully expelled from their lungs. This mist consists of mucus and breath, and it carries a stinging odor, often compared to a mix of burning rubber and old fish. Given these facts, a common internet myth suggests that the ocean's salinity comes from whale reproductive fluids. While it makes for a dramatic story, it is simply not true. Most of the ocean's salt originates from rocks on land. Acidic rain breaks down these rocks, releasing minerals and salts that are carried by streams and rivers, until they eventually reach the sea. Some salt also comes from vents at the bottom of the ocean, but the main point is, when you taste salt water, you're tasting dissolved rocks. And here is a friendly reminder. Almost every sea monster story was really just a whale's penis flipping out of the water. Gray whales even prefer a 3-player co-op. While the first male is getting his rocks off, a second wing whale will swim underneath the female to hold her in place. This process can last up to an hour. Naturally, their private parts match their giant size. The largest one ever recorded? A whopping 16 feet long. Dolphins and whales are part of a group called cetaceans. If you look at the family tree, the dolphin's closest living relative isn't another fish. It's not even a seal. It is the hippopotamus. You probably think hippos are chubby and friendly, but the reality is that they are basically land whales. They rule the river by crushing anything that breathes. When a hippo yawns, it's not tired. It's showing off jaws that can crush a crocodile like a chocolate bar. They have even been documented eating meat when the opportunity arises. Hippos are responsible for hundreds of human deaths every year, making them one of the deadliest mammals on the planet. Okay, time to reverse. Let's talk about our smooth-brained buddy. Sharks actually have a surprisingly high brain-to-body mass ratio. In a lab test, the rookies watch the experts solve a maze. They then use that knowledge to navigate and get food much faster, proving they use logic and social learning. The statement, "If it stops moving forward, it dies," is only true for about 5% of shark species. About the fact, sharks are often bullied by dolphins and whales, but wait, sharks do eat whales too, just not in a fair fight. Sometimes, a sea monster is just standing there T-posing to mess with our minds. Meet the big fin squid. Its freakishly long tentacles can grow up to 26 feet long. That's about 5 grown adults stacked on top of each other. Just imagine a human totem pole drifting in the pitch black. Sounds like the creepy world of Skibidi. For a long time, internet rumors claimed that every single one ever filmed was just a baby, leaving people terrified that adults might be the size of Godzilla. However, those creepy T-posing aliens captured on camera are the adults. We love the story of the seahorse dad. The idea that the female lets the male carry the babies to split the work equally. But seahorses are terrible swimmers. They are slow, fragile, and easy prey. By offloading the eggs to the male as quickly as possible, the female can immediately begin producing more. While the dad is busy playing The Sims nursery, the female is already getting ready for the next round. It's not about sharing the burden, it's about maximizing offspring in a world where almost everything eats you. In fact, up to 99% of their 2,000 babies are eaten right away. The image claims seahorses are the only animals where the male gets pregnant. But it's not unique to seahorses. Seahorses belong to the family Syngnathidae, which includes their close cousins, pipefish and sea dragons. Don't worry, it always gets worse with internet rumors. Seahorses mate for life. But if one partner disappears, the other just finds someone else and starts the cycle over. Evolution is lazy. If you pay attention to the fossil record, you'll realize that nature has one specific Control-C, Control-V design. It keeps going back to the crab. There is a scientific phenomenon called carcinization. It's the process where evolution looks at a creature, like a lobster or a shrimp, and says, "You know what? This is inefficient. Let's just turn you into a crab." This has happened independently at least 5 times in evolutionary history. Of course, no one thinks they will turn into crabs. People look at this and find it hilarious. They see the idea about taste like crab and talk like people. Okay, this fact is not known by many people. We've been conditioned to worship trees as the lungs of the earth. That's factually wrong. The ocean produces between 50% and 80% of the oxygen on Earth. Every second breath you take, you can thank the ocean for that. Here is the part that's actually frustrating. We've convinced ourselves that saving the planet means planting a tree, while we simultaneously treat the ocean like a global trash bin. We keep complaining that the air is getting polluted. That's it. It's the saddest part of all time. By the way, I stumbled upon an article arguing that it wasn't a straw and that we had been fooled. The author suggests the story should be added to the Wikipedia page of urban legends. He argues that, in order to be sure what a material is, we do proper scientific tests like infrared spectroscopy. I used to cry my heart out when I saw the video. But no matter if it was a straw or not, it completely changed my mind about nature protection.